Last Tuesday was Ashura. Ashura can consider as the greatest day of our lives for every year. And not just for every year, but for always the Ashura is the greatest day for us human beings in the world today. Ashura is come from Ashara, which means 10. And Ashura is, as we know, we are calling it the 10th day of Muharram. And the Muharram is the first month of our calendar and the 10th day of that month. And no doubt it is the greatest day. Because even the day of judgment, when we all will be gathered in front of our Lord, and that will be the day of Ashura. And of course, when we wake up on the day of judgment, Ashura, so it means the end of the world should be on Ashura also. And there are great things happen on the Ashura. We can start with Prophet Adam alayhi salam. He was forgiven on day of Ashura. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, he was saved by Allah in the ship on the day of Ashura. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam was saved from the fire when people wanted to burn him, and that was the day of Ashura. Prophet Ayub alayhi salam, his sickness were removed on the day of Ashura. Prophet Yunus alayhi salam was out from the belly of the fish, the whale, on the day of Ashura. Prophet Musa alayhi salam was able to cross the Red Sea and to save himself and his people, and that was also day of Ashura. In fact, Prophet Muhammad sallam, when he came to Medina, migrated from Mecca, he found out that the Jews were fasting on the day of Ashura because they were thanking to Allah to save Prophet Musa and Bani Israel from Fir'aun and his people. And the Prophet ﷺ said, we have more right to Musa alayhi salam, because the Prophet Musa is the Prophet of Allah and it's also our Prophet. But the greatest thing happened on the day of Ashura was the sacrifice of family of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially his grandson Hussein. He was able to give the greatest sacrifice of all time in the human history. As he was the head of the family, and just for the justice against the unjust ruler, he was given his life and the life of his family members and his friends and his relatives for the sake of Allah. If you can go on the last month, which is Zulhijjah, in which the 10th of the Zulhijjah, where Allah was commanded to Prophet Ibrahim to give sacrifice, to sacrifice his son, Ismail. And when he is about to sacrifice Ismail, then Allah didn't let it to go, that sacrifice, and Allah replaced it with the sheep. And we follow that sacrifice. So we do the slaughtering of sheep and goats and cows and camels every 10th of Zulhijjah. But on the 10th of Muharram, what we do on the 10th of Zulhijjah, we slaughter the animals. And what happened on the 10th of Muharram? The family of the Prophet Muhammad sallam and others who are the family friends, they were 72, they were slaughtered, sacrificed, the same way the sacrifice happened on the Zulhijjah of 10. That was a great event. Even the non-Muslims, they recognize it as a great sacrifice for the humanity, for the justice. To give the example that this life is temporary, make your life a great life. Give it to Allah. The best life when you live for Allah and you die for Allah. So Allah commanded us in the Quran. Quran revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallam, and Allah is saying to him, "Qul, say." But when we read ourselves, then Allah is saying to us, "Say." Sabihin mo, Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati Lillahi Rabbil Alameen. Say, surely my prayer and my sacrifice and my living and my dying are only for Allah. No partner for Him. And that's what I'm commanded, the first among those who were submitting to the will of Allah. The Hussein can just say, okay, I am accepting Yazid. I accept his rule, even his unjust rule, just to save my family. He could say that. And he can save. But after that, they still die. But what happened now? When he did not surrender to the evil, to the injustice, they are now alive today. Not just they are alive in our hearts, the family of the Prophet Muhammad, they are all alive in Jannah, in paradise. Eternally, until the day of judgment. Because Allah give the honor to the shaheed, to the martyr, that Allah bring their souls in Jannah, then Allah put in the big birds, and they are alive there. And they are enjoying there. And they are happy there. And they are given the food there. So that was the greatest event happened on Ashura. Compared to all the other events like Prophet Adam was forgiven, or Prophet Ibrahim was saved, or Musa alayhi salam was passed to the crossy. These all events happened were mostly on happiness. But this event happened, it was full of pain, sadness, hardship. Imagine the family of the Prophet Muhammad, they were in Karbala, 72 against the thousands, and no water for 3 days. They know that they are all going to be slaughtered, and their woman is going to be suffered. So they all fought that great war. They were all slaughtered and sacrificed for the sake of Allah, except only one of the son of Imam Hussein radiallahu anhu, the Imam Zainul Abidin. He was survived, and through him his generation was continued. And all his female members of the family were captured, humiliated, and walked from Karbala, the Iraq, until the Sham. And the Imam Hussein's head was also brought it to Sham. That was happened to family of the Prophet Muhammad, and they did that for the sake of Allah, to become the greatest sacrifice recorded in the human history. And the same Yazid, he attacked on Medina to kill the men and women and to rape the women in Medina. And also, he attacked the Makkah, and when he was burning, his soldiers were burning the Kaaba with the stones with the fire. Then Allah gave him the punishment and the death to Yazid. Then his son took over the rule, and after some days he left the throne, saying that under this throne is the blood of the family of the Prophet Muhammad, so I don't like to sit on that throne. So he's a good person. The son of Yazid did not follow his father, and he left the rule. So it is very important for us to mention that story and to learn from that story. At very lowest level, we can do some sacrifice. For example, I give you one sacrifice to do. All of us here, who is not wake up 4 o'clock for the Fajr? I don't want you to raise your hands and say, I cannot wake up Fajr. No. You know that if you don't wake up Fajr. Make a deal. I am going to sacrifice my sleep, and every day I wake up Fajr. That's my sacrifice for Allah. Try to do it. One sacrifice. Wake up Fajr on time. 4 o'clock, I don't like to sleep because Allah command me to pray. Wake up Fajr on time and show to Allah that Allah, I sacrifice my sleeping. Not you are sacrificing your life or anything else. Just sacrifice your sleeping at 4 o'clock in the morning. Wake up for Fajr. And if you fail to do this, what you present to Allah on the Day of Judgment? Even just a small sacrifice to wake up 4 o'clock on time to pray Fajr. The Allah said in the Quran that you think that you can enter to paradise and you will not be tried. So it is not possible for anyone is not going to be tried by Allah. The trial, it's an condition to go to paradise. If you doesn't fulfill your trial, then you are not entitled to go to paradise. Allah said that those who wanted to go to paradise, sino man gusto ng pasok sa paraiso sa kabilang buhay, may subok yan. Hindi pwede na walang subok. But may subok according to the capacity. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wusaha. Allah give the trials according to the capacities. For example, Allah commanded to Prophet Ibrahim to slaughter his son. But Allah will not tell us this kind of things because we don't have that capacity. We are not capable for this kind of sacrifice, to sacrifice our children with our own hands. Allah took the sacrifice from Prophet Muhammad SAW that his two sons, his grandsons, Hassan and Hussein, they are going to be sacrificed for Allah. And the Prophet Muhammad SAW was crying for that even when he was alive. Because he was given the news that your two sons are going to sacrifice. One will be given poison and the other will be slaughtered in the battlefield. And Prophet Muhammad used to cry for that. Prophet Muhammad was used to cry for that his sons, his grandsons, Hassan and Hussein will be going to be sacrificed for the sake of Allah. So Prophet Muhammad was able to give sacrifice for his two grandsons. And also his other family members were sacrificed. Even during his life, he has sacrificed his uncle, Hamza, who was terribly tortured after the Battle of Uhud. And it was very painful for Prophet Muhammad. He was also given sacrifice when they were boycotted, sanctioned by the Makkah people. And they lived in the Shah Abi Talib in the valley for 3 years without food. And they used to eat the leaves. And during that time, his beloved wife Khadija was died because of hardship. And his beloved uncle Abu Talib was died because of hardship. And there are Muslims who are accusing that Abu Talib was mushrik. There are Muslims who are saying the father of Prophet Muhammad was mushrik. Subhanallah. Where they get these ideas? Accusing that Prophet Muhammad's mother was a mushrik. Kafir, na'uzubillah. Abu Talib was a believer. He is the protector of Prophet Muhammad all his life. With his life, with his effort, with his time, with his money. He was like a wall in front of Prophet Muhammad. And now there are Muslims who are considering Abu Talib as mushrik. Subhanallah. 1 year after Abu Talib died, Prophet Muhammad was crying for 1 year for his uncle. 1 year he was. And he died because of the hardship during the 3 years of hardship when the Makkah people boycott, no trade with Prophet Muhammad and the followers of the Prophet Muhammad. So if Abu Talib was not his follower, why he was in sanction? Should be in Makkah. Recently, the body of the father of Prophet Muhammad found in Medina. Because his father was died in Medina. The body of the father of Prophet Muhammad, Abdullah, his body found. Because they were doing some extension, they dig the grave, they found the body of the Prophet Muhammad's father. And his body is fresh. Just like a newly died. No rotten the body. Fresh, sariwa, katawan ng tatay ni Prophet Muhammad 1,450 years already, the dead body of Prophet Muhammad's father is still fresh. And Allah showed a sign that he was a believer. They believe in one God. His grandfather of Prophet Muhammad, Abdul Muttalib, he was a Mawhid, believes in one God. So beware of these kind of accusations based on the false ahadith. There are lots of false ahadith sprayed by the enemies of Islam. Follow the Quran and follow the hadith which is not contradicting with the Quran. And don't follow the hadith which is fabricated. Learn the Quran and follow the authentic hadith. And those hadiths which are doubtful, do not follow them. So may Allah guide us, may Allah forgive us. As we all have to be sacrificed. And I said one sacrifice, try to do it. Wake up Fajr on time. Promise yourself, I'm going to sacrifice for Allah. Rest of my life, I will always wake up Fajr on time. And I will not fail this. And I'm doing this sacrifice for Allah. Very small sacrifice. You are in the market now, hungry. Then you go and jalebi and you eat. You don't sacrifice for Allah. Jalebi is haram. You say, no, I will not eat. I will eat the halal only. That's sacrifice. You are going in the street. You are in the mall. And you look at the very beautiful girl. And she's almost naked. And you just look down. Even you like to see her. But you look down. I don't like to see her. Because Allah made it haram. If you are man, we are man, it is very difficult for us. And you do it for Allah, that's sacrifice. Even you like to see her at only one time, but you're looking down. I will not see her because it's haram to see. Do it, this sacrifice for Allah. Then Allah will love you for this. This girl is coming almost half naked, and the shaitan is saying, look at her. And you say, I will not look at her because Allah made haram for me. And you look down and you don't do like that girl, Allah will accept your sacrifice for Allah. Try to learn to sacrifice. And if you cannot sacrifice, don't say to Allah on the day of judgment, Allah bring me to Jannah, I like to go paradise. What you did to go to paradise, what is your sacrifice? What is your sacrifice? You can present to Allah on the day of judgment. Allah, I did this for you. I sacrificed this for you. So Imam Hussein sacrificed when he gave the life of himself, his children, his family. Not just the male members, all the female members, they give sacrifice. They were all captured, humiliated, tortured. So all the family of Prophet Muhammad, they show us the greatest sacrifice. We are in a very low level. Just a small sacrifice, show it for Allah. That is the lesson we get from Ashura. To learn to sacrifice. May Allah guide us. May Allah forgive us.